So 3 colossal mistakes. The first colossal mistake was signing a contract for too high a price, where you offer too high a price. That is one colossal mistake you can make. The second colossal mistake you can make, and I know Frank's on here, and he knows the business inside and out. Other guys down there from Cabo's down there, cranking it out. So they're killing it. So, but colossal mistake number 2 is not having the correct out clause in your contract. Okay, essentially, colossal mistake number 2 is not having the correct out clause. So, I'll tell you my second deal. My second deal I got under contract. The house was literally gutted. Right, the guy was from Tucson. And I was so confident after my first deal. I made $11,008 my first deal, and I was like, man, there's nothing go wrong. I made a steal. This is kicking. I can do this, right? So this guy got in a bidding war for this house, and this was back in 2003. So this house was a piece of crap. It was like 750 square feet. It was completely gutted. Everything was out of the house. No kitchen. It was literally down to the sticks on this nasty little lot. Basically, he's like, I've got 4 other people that want it. You know, I'm looking for the highest and best offer, but I need to waive all contingencies. I need to make sure you're going to close, and I need to get a bigger earnest money deposit down, and yada, 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 all the stuff, right? And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. So I got under contract, right, with him, and he wanted a $1,000 earnest money deposit. I wanted to give him $500, and he wanted, I can't remember what the purchase price was, but he wanted me to waive all my contract contingencies. Now, I was brand new. I just wanted to get the deal. So I was like, I'm going to waive all my contract contingencies because I wanted the deal, because I was so confident. It's my second deal. I know I can sell it. So I waived. So here's another mistake that I made, huge mistake, is I did not deposit the earnest money, the $1,000 earnest money, into escrow, right? How dumb is that? This is how dumb I was. So I actually went to the guy's house. He lived in Tucson, but he drove in for the day. His mother lived in Phoenix. I met at their mother's house with him over his couch, right? We signed the contract, and I gave him personally a $1,000 cashier's check. Dumb move. Don't ever do that. Always give earnest money to if you're going to give earnest money, typically you don't in the business. We usually do $10, you know what I mean? If you do $500 or $250, always give it to the title company. In my case, I gave a $1,000 earnest money deposit, and I gave it to him directly. Colossal mistake, right? That's number 3 and number 4 and number 5. It's so terrible, right? So here's the deal, is that I gave him the earnest money, and then he basically got me to waive all contingencies, no financing contingency, no out clauses, nothing. So if I didn't close, he could sue me, right, for specific performance. Meaning that means he could go to the courts and he could make me buy the house, right? Because I waived my contract contingencies. Never waive your contract contingencies whatsoever. I don't, unless it's such a smoking deal. Like Frank Heron, he's on here. Some other guys on here that have done, a bunch of deals. If you've done a bunch of deals, just buy the house, take it down. If it's an absolute smoking deal, you don't care. You can make your numbers work, you close on it, you turn around and sell it. But as a brand new person, when I was brand spanking new, just getting started, on my second deal I ever did, I gave the guy earnest money and I waived my contract contingencies. Big mistake. So I called up my cash buyer who purchased the first property I have ever done. And I called him up. He drove by the house and he goes, dude, I wouldn't touch this house with a 10-foot pole. I mean, it's 700 square feet. There's nothing inside. Your price is too high. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're going to do with this. Honestly, I don't know what you're going to do with this. Well, listen, do you have any referrals? Anybody you could refer me to? Anybody that could help me out? So he goes, I know this guy. He loves doing these small jobs. These small houses and stuff. He'd be good for something like this. Try to turn around and call him. So he gave me his phone number. I called the guy up. He came out there. It was him and his dad. His dad was funding him. It was the son, and the son was going to buy the house and basically clean the whole entire thing up. So this was after me putting bandit signs up, talking to people. Everyone was I was in panic mode. I was freaking out. because I had no contingency. I gave it $1,000. It was my second deal. I went in and thought I was so confident, and then boom, I was good. Finally, I got this guy to agree to purchase the house. We agreed on it, and I made $2,000 on the deal, right? $2,000. And I could have lost big time because I would have been forced to purchase a house, right? Big mistake. The bottom line is that, here's the thing. Never give earnest money, right, to a seller. Always give it to a title company, number one. Number two is always leave your contract contingency. Now, there's multiple different contract contingencies, but I'm going to give you the absolute best one that will have, you know, it's from my attorney, you know, essentially, in the best way to do it. Write up the contract for 30 days. And you're wondering, where do I get the contract? How do I get the contract? Use your state's real estate contract. So if you live in Arizona, get your Board of Realtors contract for Arizona. So you're using the state board contract, right? Now, on that state board contract, make sure you give yourself, and I can't give you all the details and all the contract and all the language and all that stuff, but the bottom line is that, and maybe we'll get into actually specifically writing the contract and what verbiage you want to have in there and everything like that. But the bottom line is, the biggest thing you want to have in there is, if you write the contract for 30 days, you give yourself a 30-day inspection period, So that means during that inspection period, you can get out, no harm, no foul, right? Or if you write it for 45 days, give yourself a 45-day inspection period. You can get out, no harm, no foul. The bottom line is, during that inspection period, your job as a real estate wholesaler is to find a buyer. And if you can't find a buyer, you got two options. Either A, renegotiate the price with the seller, or B, right, you can get out of the contract, no harm, no foul, because it's within your inspection period. Normal residential real estate contracts have anywhere from a 10 to a 15-day inspection period. You want to extend that inspection period to the length of your contract. Now, 95% of the sellers are not going to go for that. 95%. They're going to sell retail. They're not going to go for that. But we're not looking for 95%. We're looking for the 5%. We're looking for distressed sellers that they just want to get out of their house and they just want to move it, right? Because that's the only way we can get a deal that's good enough for our buyer to jump on it. Remember, we're signing a contract for 30 days with a seller. Now, we want to put it out to the market, right? And we've only got two buyers. We've got a fix and flip buyer, and we got a buy and hold buyer. So it's going to be such a smoking deal for your buy and hold buyer and your fix and flip buyer that they're going to jump on it and close within 7 days. All the deals we do and we close within a 7-day period. Okay? We close within a 7-day period. So the bottom line is that when we do that, right, it has to be a smoking deal. That's why colossal mistake number one is writing the contract for too high a price. If you write the contract for too high a price and you give yourself a 30-day inspection period with a 30-day contract and you put it out to market, no one's going to jump on it. It has to be such a smoking deal that everybody jumps on it. And I relate it to stocks. Apple, $136 today. Okay, on the market, $136 today, Apple. What if you could buy Apple for $120? What if you could buy Apple for $100? What if you had the ability to buy options on Apple for $100 a share? Right? You would be like, how many can I buy? And then if you put it out to the market and you sold it for $120 a share, you make $20 spread per share. If you had 10,000 shares, you're talking a lot of money. Okay? You can't do that in stocks. Why? Because it's all insider trading. You can't do that. It's timing. You have to be there at the right time, at the right place to be able to buy it. Real estate, you can. You can find a distressed seller that they don't want to wait 120 days. They don't want to wait all the time. They want to sell it, and they want to sell it now, and they're willing to take a discount. Why? Because this house is a thorn in their side, and they don't want to deal with it. So here's the deal. Make sure you never give earnest money to a seller, right? Number one. Always give it to a title company. And here's the deal. Make sure when you sign a contract, you give yourself a 30-day inspection period and right down to the end. If you want to do a 45-day contract, do a 45-day inspection period because your goal is to sell it within those 7 days, and you want to get such a smoking deal that you can turn around and sell it and everybody's jumping in to buy it. And then that's where you make money in this business. You make money in this business. So that's colossal mistake number 2. I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys on tomorrow. We're going to colossal mistake number 3. We'll talk about tomorrow. Stay tuned and keep your notification on. And I will see you guys next time. Hope that's helped. Take care. Love you guys. God bless.